In The Bold and the Beautiful, calm never lasts, and peace between Steffy Forrester and Hope Logan was never meant to stay. What was once a moment of unity, born from fear and heartbreak, now teeters on the edge of collapse. And this time, it might only take for words from Steffy to spark a wildfire that no one can contain. You don't belong together. Just weeks ago, fans witnessed an unthinkable moment of reconciliation between two of the show's most bitter rivals. Hope and Steffy, women long defined by their feud over Liam Spencer, found themselves pulled together in the face of what they thought was a tragedy: Liam's possible death. After Grace Buckingham's deception led everyone to believe Liam had a rapidly progressing brain tumor, both women were forced to confront the idea of losing him forever. The idea of telling their daughters that their father might not live brought Hope and Steffy to the same side for once and for a time. That shared fear created real closeness. They weren't rivals. They were two women mourning the same man in advance. But now that the truth is out, Liam is healthy, Grace's lie is exposed, and the funeral no one wanted to plan will never happen. The illusion of peace is beginning to crack. Liam, understandably shaken by the emotional roller coaster, has reevaluated his entire life. He's realizing how much Hope still means to him. And in the face of nearly losing everything, he wants to start again with her. Hope, too, is emotionally rattled. She'd been preparing to marry Carter Walton, a man steady and loyal, a man who never broke her trust. But the reemergence of her feelings for Liam is undeniable. The trauma brought them back together, and now, with no ticking clock counting down Liam's life, they're standing in that uncertain, emotionally charged space between reunion and relapse. And that's where Steffy walks back into the picture. After some time away, enjoying peace and domestic bliss with Finn, Steffy returns to Los Angeles to find everything changed, but also disturbingly familiar. Once again, Hope and Liam are orbiting each other. Once again, there are lingering glances, shared memories, hesitant touches. Steffy can see what's happening long before anyone says a word. And she doesn't like it. To Steffy, this doesn't look like romance. It looks like relapse. It looks like another cycle: Hope wavering, Liam following, everything falling apart. Steffy knows Liam. She knows his guilt, his confusion, his emotional impulsivity. She's seen him leap back to Hope out of grief, out of habit, out of fear. But what she sees now is something different. Hope isn't innocent. She's the one dancing between men this time. Hope is the one engaged to someone else. Steffy sees a woman who doesn't know what she wants and a man too shaken to make a clear choice. Steffy knows the cost of indecision. She's paid it before. And that's why she says it. 4 words. No filter. No sugarcoating. Just a truth she believes, whether or not anyone wants to hear it. You don't belong together. The moment she says it, the temperature in the room drops. The peace, fragile, temporary, shatters in an instant. Hope hears the words not as concern, but as judgment. A challenge. An accusation. To Hope, it's Steffy drawing the same line in the sand she's drawn 100 times before. Liam is mine. You're not good enough. Stay away. Liam is caught in the middle, as always. But this time, it feels different. This time, there's history weighing on him like never before. He just faced death. Or at least, he thought he did. Now, he wants to live honestly. He wants to fight for what he really wants. The question is, does he even know what that is anymore? Hope is furious. She accuses Steffy of never truly letting go of Liam, of always wanting to control the narrative, of needing to be the one who gets the final word. Hope tells Steffy she's the last person who should talk about who belongs with who after all. Steffy had her chance. She chose Finn. She chose a new life. So why is she back now, trying to ruin Hope's? But Steffy doesn't flinch. She fires back that Hope is the one who ran to Thomas, who hurt Liam, who broke the life they built. She says Hope's only interested in Liam now that she sees him happy without her. She calls it emotional sabotage, a pattern Hope has perfected over the years. Every time Liam moves on, Hope pulls him back. And it's always when he's at his most vulnerable. The argument spirals. Voices rise. The tension between them, once softened by shared fear, is now razor sharp. There's no pretense of friendship anymore. Whatever connection they rediscovered when Liam was dying is gone. In its place is a familiar storm bitterness, rivalry, history. What makes it worse is that neither woman is wrong. Hope has wavered. Steffy has interfered. Liam has been indecisive. Everyone is tangled in the past, and no one is ready to let go. Meanwhile, Carter Walton, unaware that his engagement is on the verge of implosion, begins to notice the distance. Hope is distracted. She misses calls. She cancels fittings. She avoids serious wedding planning. At first, Carter attributes it to emotional exhaustion after all. She almost lost the father of her child. But the truth begins to dawn slowly. Hope's heart is elsewhere. Again, Finn sees what's happening too. He watches as Steffy gets pulled back into the Liam-Hope vortex, and he doesn't like what he sees. Not because he's jealous, but because he knows what this feud does to Steffy. It consumes her. It pulls her away from everything they've built together. He reminds her that they've already survived so much, Sheila, the betrayals, the near-death experiences. Why reopen old wounds now? But Steffy can't help herself. She's not fighting for Liam. She's fighting for sanity. She believes Hope and Liam bring out the worst in each other. And she's not afraid to say it again and again if she has to. The situation grows more volatile by the day. Brooke tries to step in, defending Hope, urging Steffy to back down. Rich tries to play peacekeeper, but even he is beginning to worry that the Hope-Liam dynamic is about to derail everything. The entire Forrester family watches as old rivalries reignite, threatening not only personal relationships, but the balance at Forrester Creations itself. Business tensions flare, creative disagreements spiral, and suddenly, the professional begins to blur with the personal again. Behind the scenes, Sheila watches, quiet, calculating. She sees a storm coming, and she knows exactly when to strike. And still, the words echo, "You don't belong together." Maybe Steffy's wrong. Maybe she's right. But one thing is certain, she said too much to take it back. And in the world of the bold and the beautiful, one sentence can unravel years of fragile peace. One opinion can reignite a war. And this time, the battle lines are drawn not just in love, but in truth, loyalty, and identity. Steffy and Hope may have found common ground once, but it was built on fear. Now that fear is gone. And what's left is everything that was never resolved: the jealousy, the resentment, the territorial fights, the buried insecurities. Liam is the spark, but the fire is all theirs. Hope and Steffy are not just on the brink of a fight. They are already in it. And nothing, not Finn, not Carter, not even Liam himself can stop what's coming next. In the bold and the beautiful, the world of high fashion is never just about fabric and runway shows. It's about power, perception, and politics. And no one understands that better than Remy Price, Forrester Creations' fast rising star. Charismatic, sharp, and unapologetically bold, Remy has never played by the rules. But when he introduces his new boyfriend, Deke, to the fashion elite of Los Angeles, what begins as a glamorous romance quickly spirals into a scandal that threatens not only their relationship, but the very foundation of Forrester's public image. And in a company where image is everything, Remy and Deke's love story becomes both a headline-grabbing spectacle and an unprecedented test of Forrester Creations' values. It starts simply enough. Deke, an ex-Stumpman-turned-social media sensation, is new to the world of couture. Rugged, magnetic, and brutally authentic, he's nothing like the usual polished types who frequent Forrester events. But Remy sees something in him, not just a partner, but a mirror to his own ambition. He brings Deke into his world slowly, first as a guest, then as a quiet presence at fittings, then as a +1 at red carpet events. The cameras notice. The internet notices. So do the board members. Some cheer, thrilled at the freshness they bring. Others whisper, wondering what Remy's endgame is. Then comes the night everything shifts. At a high-profile fashion gala, Remy and Dee arrive arm in arm and in sync. Their chemistry is undeniable. But the evening doesn't end in applause. A confrontation breaks out backstage, seemingly minor at first. A snub, a drink spilled, a few raised voices. But when security footage leaks the next morning, headlines explode. Remy Price's lover in backstage altercation. Dee dismantles Forrester event with fists and fury. Is Forrester's new favorite too hot to handle? The story spins out of control before FC can manage it. The press paints Dee as volatile. Influencers take sides. Legacy clients demand answers. Behind closed doors, the FC executive board is in chaos. Ridge is torn between loyalty to Remy's creativity and concern for the brand's stability. Steffi sees the PR disaster as a threat to their global image. Carter urges caution, while Brooke asks the obvious, is this really about Deck's behavior, or is it about who he is, who they are together? Because quietly, unmistakably, the subtext is clear. This isn't just about a scuffle. It's about discomfort. About Remy and Dee being the first openly queer couple to stand publicly at the heart of the Forrester empire, not on the fringe, not behind the scenes, but center stage. And now the question looms, will Forrester Creations stand behind them, or will they become collateral damage in a fight for public approval? Remy, unshaken by the media circus, refuses to apologize for who he loves. In a fiery internal meeting, he calls out the hypocrisy. FC has celebrated diversity when it was safe, when it was polished, when it was profitable. But now, when it's raw and real, when love doesn't come in a curated package, suddenly it's too risky. He makes it clear. If FC turns its back on them, it turns its back on everything it claims to stand for. Dee, meanwhile, is ready to walk away from the spotlight entirely. The attention, the cameras, the judgment, it was never his world to begin with. But Remy won't let him go. He tells Dee that leaving now would only prove the critics right, that their love deserves to exist in the light, not in whispers and shadows. What they don't know is that their story has already taken root far beyond the walls of Forrester. LGBTQ+ communities across LA begin rallying behind them. Social media floods with messages of support. Young designers, aspiring models, even veteran clients begin speaking out in defense of Remy and Dee. Let them love. One post reads, fashion should reflect the world as it is, not as it was. The cultural momentum builds fast. What began as a PR nightmare is becoming a cultural reckoning. FC is now on trial not just in gossip columns, but in the court of public opinion. Do they truly support diversity, or only when it's palatable? Will they lead the industry into a new era, or retreat into the safety of legacy? Reg, sensing the tide turning, makes a controversial decision. He calls an emergency press conference. Standing beside Remy and Dee, he announces that Forrester Creations stands behind their designers, all their designers, not just in talent, but in truth. He acknowledges the incident, but refuses to let it define the couple. He announces a new capsule collection inspired by freedom and love in all forms, with Remy as the lead designer and Dee as the campaign's face. The backlash is immediate. A few conservative clients pull out. A high-profile investor threatens to walk. But the support is louder. Sales surge. The campaign goes viral. Publications that once questioned the couple now champion them. Remy and Dee are no longer just a story, they're a symbol. For hope, for representation, for change. Still, inside the Forrester offices, not everyone is celebrating. Whispers persist. Some team members feel the brand took too big a risk. Others resent the attention Remy now commands. But Remy isn't looking for comfort. He's looking for accountability. He begins pushing for internal reform, more inclusion at every level, not just on camera. He challenges casting directors, hiring protocols, even executive policies. If FC is going to talk about diversity, he insists it has to live it. Deke, now reluctantly becoming a public figure, starts using his platform to speaking out about mental health, masculinity, and identity. In interviews, he's candid about his past, his doubts, his love for Remy. He doesn't try to be perfect. He just tries to be honest. And that honesty resonates. Together, they become something more than a couple. They become a movement within the show, a bold, unfiltered reminder that love isn't always neat, that representation matters, and that the fashion world needs to evolve or be left behind. As the storyline deepens, tension continues to simmer. Old school clients threaten lawsuits. Anonymous threats are sent to Remy, and exposed surfaces about Deck's past, trying to weaponize his mistakes. But every attack only galvanizes them. Every attempt to silence them only amplifies their voices. FC is at a crossroads, and Remy and Deke are not backing down. The show leans in, not away from the firestorm. What began as a scandal becomes one of the most talked about storylines on daytime television. Ratings rise. Conversations ignite. A fictional romance becomes a real-world reflection of culture, conflict, and the power of visibility. And through it all, Remy and Deke stand side by side, flawed, fierce, unapologetically in love. Forrester Creations may have once feared what they represented, but now they know better. This isn't just a romance. It's a revolution in silk and fire.